everyone? It's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And I'm sorry there was not a video for Monday. I had actually ended up getting sick, but that's alright. I have a video for Wednesday for you guys. And this video is going to be a review on the new game that just released for Switch, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Now, one thing I want to say is I actually have the Let's Go Eevee version of this game. My boyfriend has the Pikachu version, so we have, separate ones, so we both get very separate experiences while playing this game. Now, I know based off of the reviews that are on Amazon and on other websites, most of the reviews are either people love the game or people hate the game. For me, I'm kind of in the middle. I really do enjoy playing this game, and to be honest, it is very nostalgic. It is very much so Pokemon Yellow, but the only difference is that instead of you having the only choice of having Pikachu as your starter Pokemon, you can have the option of choosing Eevee if you choose the Eevee version of the Let's Go game. So it's very nostalgic in that aspect, and plus you're going through and fighting all the same gym leaders as before, and it's all the original 150 or 151 Pokemon. So you don't have to worry about generation 2, 3, 4. The only Pokemon that's newly introduced in Let's Go is the new generation 8 Pokemon, Meltan. Now, one of the things that people hate about this game is that they feel like the game is not as challenging or as difficult as the other Pokemon games are concerned. And this is kind of true. There are very different aspects in this game as opposed to the other previous Pokemon games. This game is very heavily integrated with the mobile game Pokemon Go. So the catching sequences are very similar to Pokemon Go, and the sequences of when you battle other trainers is kind of a little bit different, because not only do you get money when you win, you also get Pokeballs. Not only that, but also you no longer have to do the whole thing where you have to switch in your Pokemon that has the least amount of experiments or levels to be first so that it can level up and get experience, nor do you have to have that item experience share to share experience among multiples of your Pokemon. Now, no matter if you fight a Pokemon or catch a Pokemon, all your Pokemon will all gain experience, which definitely makes this a not as challenging game because you don't have to worry about using one Pokemon the entire way through, which I'm gonna be completely honest, I was that person where my strongest Pokemon was always my starter, and all the other Pokemon that I would catch along the way weren't as strong because I really didn't have to use them as much. So there is that aspect. Now, for those of you who say that about the game, I have to say, you have to remember, this game says Let's Go on it. It says it in the title, which already lets you know it's being integrated with Pokemon Go. Now, also, you have a lot of players who are playing Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee who have never played a Pokemon game in their life. Their first Pokemon game was Pokemon Go. So playing a game for Pokemon that is kind of the same as the other previous Pokemon games are very, they're not used to it, so they're using this game to get used to that new aspect. Plus, there's a lot of people who are like, it's not like the mainstream games. It's not supposed to be like the mainstream games. It's supposed to be different. This is a whole new different software that they're using on a whole new different system, and they're integrating it with a mobile game, which is something that Pokemon has never had to do before. Also, I know a lot of people were kind of upset that they chose to do Pokemon Yellow as kind of like a re-release for Let's Go with the same concept and not releasing any new Pokemon along with it besides Meltan. But I feel like there's a reason why they did it. They wanted to see if the Let's Go concept would even work. They wanted to see if it would help other Pokemon users want to play a game similar to Pokemon Go, but where it's not where you have to leave your house pretty much, and it takes you back to the original Pokemon games and kind of how they used to be. I do foresee in the future, if this game is successful, that they will do something similar for the other Pokemon games and new ones going forward. Plus, a lot of people that are complaining about the not as challenging aspect of the game, if you look on the game, it is mostly for kids the ages of 4 to 10. So you have to realize that we do not fall into that age group anymore. So for us, it isn't going to seem as challenging, especially with the fact that it is so heavily integrated with the original, with Pokemon Go. Sorry, not an original game, but with Pokemon Go. So I do enjoy this game. There are also a lot of different aspects to this game. I know I talked about the whole experience share, I talked about the battling aspect, and I also talked about the whole catching aspect of Pokemon. But also inside the game, you can now actually see what wild Pokemon are around you. So no more of them randomly popping up and you like encountering 1,000 Rattatas or 1,000 Caterpies. Now you can actually encounter Bulbasaur in the Viridian Forest. You can also encounter Charmander when you're in the Rock Tunnel. Those things are very, very different from how the original Pokemon Yellow game was concerned. Also, you can now, it's a lot easier now to get shiny Pokemon within this game. But your aspect of what you do is a little bit different. I know before, getting a shiny Pokemon in the other previous Pokemon games was kind of like literally by chance or resetting your game multiple times. This one is where you have to do what's called a catch combo. So you catch multiples of the same exact Pokemon in a chain. So for example, for me, at this point, I'm trying to get a shiny Vulpix. So at this point, I've caught like 68 Vulpixes in a chain, hoping a shiny one will pop up. Generally, once you hit 31, though, is when the aspects of you getting one is at its max. But if you go beyond that, towards like almost 100, you start to get a Pokemon that's actually very, very strong and has really strong IVs and also a potential shiny. So those aspects kind of go up a lot, and that's something that's very different from the original Pokemon games before this one. So that is something that I thoroughly have been enjoying about this game. I enjoyed the nostalgia factor of it and all of the above. For what I do not like about this game is, honestly, right now, I so far don't have anything I don't like. Although I do kind of have to agree on the fact that it is a lot easier compared to the other games. I feel like if you're someone who's very well seasoned with the Pokemon games, you could probably beat this game in about a day, maybe a day and a half, maybe even 2. But if you're like me, and for me at this point, I've kind of stopped the journey a little bit and I started to do more of the like Pokemon shiny hunting. It's taking me a little bit longer to get through the entire game. Also, one other thing that I actually forgot that is also different with this game. Previously, before, if you wanted to like switch out your roster of 6 of Pokemon, you have to go to a Pokemon Center. Now you actually don't have to do that. It's actually located right inside of the like Pokemon storage system already on your options menu. So you go through your 6, you have to press the Y button on your Switch, which opens your Pokemon storage, and actually in there is actually how you can transfer Pokemon to Professor Oak, and it's also how you can change your roster of 6. Also, the aspect of riding Pokemon to get from place to place is also different. I know before we had where you could ride a Lapras or a Gyarados if you wanted to go in the water, but now you also have the option of riding a Charizard, a Dragonite. I know for myself, I actually have an Arcanine that I can ride around towns with. Also, you can ride on a Kangaskhan, and my boyfriend actually also got a Persian, and they have the Alolan Pokemon also in this game. Although they're at Pokemon Center, so you have to talk to someone in there, and they'll trade you like a Meowth for an Alolan, Meowth, Vulpix, Diglett, and so on and so forth. So I definitely recommend doing that so you can collect all the Alolan forms also. The one thing though I know that some people did not like is that if you do catch a shiny Pokemon, it doesn't actually appear as a shiny Pokemon in your Pokemon storage. So be careful that you're not transferring it by accident to Professor Oak. So be sure if you do catch a shiny Pokemon to favorite it so that you do not get rid of it, because they're kind of hard to get. So one of the things that I also got that I know a lot of people were very curious about was the Pokeball Plus. Sorry, I'm holding it upside down, but it's this right here. So this actually came in a bundle pack with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and you either can buy it separately or, like I mentioned, in a bundle. So this is where you actually can use the Pokeball to actually catch Pokemon from within the game. You pretty much press the button in the middle, it lights up and connects to your Switch, and basically you just use the throwing motion to be able to catch a Pokemon within the game. But what's also interesting about this is that you can also take Pokemon out on a stroll. So I actually at one point put my Eevee inside of the Pokeball, and you can like shake it and like twirl it like this, and your Eevee or whatever Pokemon you put inside of it will make noise. And they'll make a good noise or a bad noise considering if they like how you're playing with it. And when you turn back on your Switch and you end your stroll, you'll actually see how many times they like enjoyed you playing with them, how long they were in there for, and things like that. And sometimes they'll even give you gifts with them being inside of the Pokeball. Also, another reason why a lot of people wanted to get the Pokeball was that it gave you the Pokemon Mew, which that was the only way to get it. So I know that's actually kind of gimmicky on the Pokemon side, but it's kind of a good gimmick. Now, do I suggest buying this? If you want Mew, then yes, but if you're not really like, don't care about getting Mew, especially if you have like Pokemon Go and you can easily transfer Mew into the game once you get to Go Park, which I'll go on later on about, then you don't have to get this. You can easily catch Pokemon using the Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch also. Plus, this kind of runs a hazard of you potentially throwing it at your TV if you connect your Switch to the TV. So be very careful with that and actually use the like little bands here if you decide to use it. So overall, you don't need the Pokemon Ball Go Plus thing. You honestly could just use your Switch to catch Pokemon. Now, like I mentioned before, right, like not that long ago, about the Go Park. So that's a park where a lot of people are actually trying to get to within the game, and that is where you can actually transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go into Pokemon Let's Go. And that's where you can like kind of get rid of your Pokemon of storage that you have a lot of and free up the storage from within the game. But one thing to remember is that you cannot switch them back from the Pokemon Let's Go back into Pokemon Go, and you cannot drop Pokemon off into Let's Go that are not a part of the original 150 or 151. So no Gen 2s, no Gen 3s, no Gen 4s. You can only do Pokemon within the original 151. But overall, what I think about this game is I actually find it very fun. I like the fact that it integrates with Pokemon Go, and I like the fact that it brings a lot of nostalgia to those of us who have played the original Pokemon game, especially Pokemon Yellow. I know it's not the game that many of us may have wanted as Pokemon fans, but I understand from a business aspect that they needed to be able to try this out and make sure that it worked with this kind of software and this kind of integration before proceeding with new Pokemon games. Also, they wanted to bring a lot of new people or new players who only play Pokemon Go into playing the Pokemon games on other like consoles such as the Nintendo Switch. But what do you guys think about this game? Are you guys going to go play it? Do you guys already have it? Or are you waiting to see what the reviews say before you go out and buy it? If you are interested in buying Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, you can buy it at your local GameStop or Target or Walmart. It's about $60, and if you have a Nintendo Switch, you can actually download it directly onto your Nintendo Switch. I think if there's one thing I would suggest that I would love about this game is if they had downloadable content. I feel like that would make the game so much better, and it would make it where you didn't have to constantly buy new Pokemon games. So, Pokemon Company, get on that. I would really, really enjoy it. But yeah, that's where you can actually buy the game. You can buy the game in any of those stores. And as far as which version should you get, Pikachu or Eevee, it's really honestly up to you. I know a lot of people, it seems, are buying Eevee just because Yellow is basically where you got Pikachu anyway, and to start off with a different starter Pokemon is pretty awesome. Also remember that since Pikachu and Eevee are your starters, you cannot evolve them. So Pikachu cannot evolve into Raichu, and Eevee cannot evolve into Vaporeon, Jolteon, or Flareon. You cannot do that. Plus, they'll wheel right on your head or right on your shoulder also. So just remember that, because now I've already told you guys. But that is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below on what you guys have thought of this game if you've already played it. If you have not played it, let me know if you will play it or if you're interested in playing it. And also, of course, you can comment any ideas you have for further videos that I will be coming out with, because like I mentioned, I am open for suggestions of what you guys would like to see on this channel, and it doesn't always have to be anime related because I'm open to several different topics, and maybe I might even do a Q&A at some point since I haven't done one in a while. But that's it, you guys. Like always, I will leave in the description box below links to all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well. And of course, like always, you guys, stay positive and be nerdy. All right, you guys.